Welcome back to Nicky Bobby Inc. Today we're going to be working more on the S10 bolt-in 4-link kit, and right here I'm going to show you some stuff that we shot a couple weeks ago before we went to sick week, and that is the 3D printed shock fixtures, or shock bar fixture kind of, that holds our frame mounts, the shock mounts, and also I'm printing right now the ARB tab mounts. So here's a quick look at it, but I'm going to show you the video of me actually introducing it and a time lapse of us doing it, and also a time lapse of Court rebuilding the transmission before we get into what we're actually doing today, because I already have that stuff recorded and it's stuff you guys need to see. So here's a quick overview, then I'll give you the real overview after the quick overview. Quick overview is we got a new welder, the DP200 by Yeswelder, dual pulse MIG welder. They just sent me the right wire size because I only had 030, but you have to use 035 to pulse. So we're gonna work on pulsing that thing. But here are, sorry, it is a mess right now, but here's our 3D printed fixtures. I have a couple more fixtures getting printed now because this is a mess because we started test welding on a bunch of stuff after we finished welding that bad boy right there, because it fits perfectly in our S10. You'll see that more in a second. We've got Chevelle brackets that these are waiting to be welding. We are waiting to be welded. We already welded the first batch and shipped those out. So thank you to everybody that ordered those. Here, let's get into the time lapse of putting together our shock crossbar assembly, our jig fixture, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to get into 3D scanning the engine bay and bending up a tube for the crossover and finishing up the rear end in this thing. Okay, we did a math, and I think our math is starting to math. Look at this. Everything lines up perfect so far. I didn't think about how to get the bar in. I should have put holes into our fixtures, which I don't know why I didn't, but so we could slide the bar in, slide it over. I will next time. But look how good this all fits. And I haven't even introduced what I'm doing yet. Basically, I drew my table in Fusion, and then I set this bar where I wanted it just a little bit off the table, and I made some fixtures that bolt to the table. They have little locating pegs. Each piece has locating pegs, and then also each piece is threaded. It's printed, and the threads are printed into the piece to where you can locate them and then bolt through them, bolt our piece to here, and then it holds everything. I'm getting ready to make some for our anti-roll bar mounts, but obviously I know this is plastic and we're gonna be welding, but I'm thinking we're just gonna be like, put a few tacks on everything, pull it off, put another one on, do a few tacks. We'll do a whole pile of them, then bring them over here, finish weld them once we know everything is square. But what I wanted to do, before we go into more detail, I'll cut this clip and I'll go back and I'll show you how I designed everything, why I designed it the way I did, blah, blah, blah. But for now, we'll fast forward. We're here. I want to weld this or tack it together, pull it off here, see if we can get it off. It's angled inwards on each side. So it's like a draft, technically. It's drafted this way, so we should be able to pull it back out. We'll just have to be gentle because, like the first of everything, I made it fit too close. So it's a very tight fit, so I don't think it's just gonna pop out. We're gonna have to do some hammering, and you know, plastic is not very strong. But we're gonna try it anyways, and I wanna try the first one. I don't wanna mock the first one up on the truck because I designed it on this jig, so I wanna mock it up on this jig and then see if it fits the truck. If it doesn't, then we'll weld it together on the truck and then make the jig fit that. But for now, we're gonna tack it together here and then see what it does. What do you guys think?
I like it.
Pretty cool.
This is what happens when you have a 3D printer and a lot of imagination. So we're gonna see if our new Yeswelder, not that one, there's another one in the box over there. It is a DP dual pulse 200. So I'm kind of excited about trying the pulse feature. Don't know whether it'll work or not, but we're gonna try it. So stand by. All right, let's peel this bad boy off. Sticker on there, yeah. You said there's no directions in there? Oh. Did I accidentally throw them away? Stand by, we're gonna Google. Okay, so if you go to yeswelder.com and click on the welder, the DP200, you can find a PDF download that tells you everything you need to know for instructions. So right now I've got it for MIG, steel, we've got 80% argon, we've got 030 wire, 14 gauge is not what we're welding. So all you gotta do is go here, change your thickness, 3/16, 2T, which is what we want. Memory, we're not doing anything with memory. MIG gun, gas check, pulse off. I don't know how to do any of this yet, so I'm gonna read some more on this. But for now, we're just gonna turn this thing. All I'm gonna do is spot weld this thing together so that way we can check it on there. And once I check it on there, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna practice with this thing to get some, see if I can make the dual pulse work and make our MIG welds look like TIG welds. Come on, stand by. On or off.
Yeah. A little bit, or you're gonna have all of it.
Just playing around with it, but man, she's smooth. Look how clean those welds are. This thing has really good. It's even got a ceramic gas lens inside of that, and it's got a heat sink on the torch itself. So this is the smoothest MIG welder I've ever used. I thought that thing was smooth. And then this one is about the same smoothness as the Vulcan, but it welded nicer. This thing is like the freaking Taj Mahal of welders. These were my first welds ever with it. But now I just had to get some video proof of how cool this was. And now you guys can watch us try to struggle getting this thing off of here. Don't judge too bad. Let me put you back up. All right, test run number one. My name's Court. I work for NBI. I just welded up this fixture. I'm gonna try to take it off. I should probably take pictures before we mutilate this thing. Be right back. We're gonna take some pictures. All right, done taking pictures. Back to disassembly. Now, please be nice to me. Court, you missed it. That was amazing. Look at this. If he's in it right in the center, if it gets all the way up here.
Comes right out.
All right, now let's go see if it fits in the truck. Follow me. Don't mind our tin soldiers build anti-roll bar kit. Same thing, same problem. We're gonna have to trim the corners.
Round it out.
This one. And this back one, so that way I can, because these being like that makes it too long. All right, I'm gonna go do some cutting, but we're almost there. This is why you do R&D. Okay, I just guessed, but I cut a little bit off the ears. See if it'll help us. It's hitting that one.
Still hitting now, but it may clear the.
Okay, now we have a notch right there, which technically, since the bolt hole's here, this one's down here, I could take this down and out a little less. This is just one thing you can't replicate. Software.
boy, that sure does fit nice though. Pretty nifty. So what I need to do, and maybe even as simple as saying, hey, try a half inch off that. But I hate that people cut their frames, so this is going to be a bolt on shit. Let's go back to where I had it first. Rubbish.
Okay, test try number 4 or 5, something like that. I got high hopes for this one, if I put it in the right way. Now, look at that line up. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh yeah. One more to go. That's it. Those aren't even bolted tight. Looks freaking good. Looks freaking good. I don't know what better it could look. All the bolt holes line up perfectly. I'll be danged. As of right now, we did something right. I'd like to have that keep reoccurring, but man, I'll take this one little win. Now this notch, I'll probably just take this off from here and like bring it back in. But looks pretty freaking spiffy. Heck yeah. Now go dial in the welder. Freaking happy. This right here makes me happy. Of course, gonna get our new welder dialed in. That looks pretty dang good, Mr. Court. Let me try to zoom in. Flip her back over. Oh, yeah. How do you feel about that?
I like this one. A lot easier to get used to than the Vulcan.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Heck yeah, boys. Now we got to figure out how to do the pulse. Let's do some more Googling. You can keep welding. I'm going to do some Googling, all right?
Okay.
Okay, now that you've seen us setting up our new welder, getting the shock bar assembly that's right there right now welded up and all that, now it's time to move on. That thing's welded up. We're getting the ARB fixtures printed right now to bolt onto the table just like the other fixtures did. We'll be able to finish that and install the shock bar cross piece. I could just bolt that in right now, weld it in there and be done, but I want to set up a production fixture that is modular and bolts onto my table and set this truck up the exact way all the kits I'm going to sell are going to be, so that way there's no differential between my kit and the kit that I'm going to be selling everybody. So that's the reasoning for waiting and not just doing that right now, right out of the blue. So that's waiting to be put in, but for now, until I can get those other pieces printed, which has still got a couple hours left, we're going to 3D scan this engine bay. So that way what I'm thinking is I'd like to make bolt-in mounts for small block, big block, and LS that they're just a bolt-in, not like a tab, but like they're basically a front plate mount and a mid plate mount that will fit directly onto your frame and hopefully maybe try to utilize some factory holes. I think I'll be able to do it for the mid plate, not sure about the front plate, but it's something that'll fit to your S10 frame and just like literally drop on exactly where you need it. There's no guesswork, there's no custom, all that. It's literally just kind of probably not a bolt-in deal. Well, it can be a bolt-in deal. You just have to drill some holes and all that, but it'd be easier to weld it in. But so that way, the S10 guys, you don't gotta mess around with all the motor mounts and all that. If you want to do mid plate, front plate, this will be a kit that literally drops right in. Another thing, hopefully, that'll just make your guys' life easier on the S10s and mine. It's another product I can add to the site. So we're going to scan that. We're also going to be scanning our bed today, so that way I can make what I'm thinking of is a sheet metal kind of badass looking. It'll be basically like a plate with some supports up to another plate that is the dimensions of a turbo flange, to where you basically drill a hole right up through here, this thing right here, which is your bed mount. You'll use a small bit to go through that, locate a hole up here, and then you can drill that hole out and you can run one long bolt up through, or a piece and all thread bolt to my turbo mount I'm going to make. So that way you'll have a turbo mount that bolts directly to a location that can swivel and go wherever you want it. I'm going to mount twins in the bed back here, which we actually already have. We have one of them already unboxed sitting right over here because it's freaking awesome. Force Performance billet wheel ball bearing 66 turbos. Look at that. Bad boy's gonna spin forever. So I should be able to foot brake this thing to quite a bit of boost. And yeah, probably definitely scatter our stock small block. Court put our shift kit in, the old Turbo 350 over here. We got a Jegs XHD, I think it's a 38 to 4200 stall converter in there. New flywheel on, new starter. That thing's ready to go in. All of our pieces are kind of falling together to get the S10 in. Check out that new swag Court's got on. Turn around. Oh yeah, boy. That thing looks good. The cat's been crawling all over Court. He's got cat hair all over him. All right, so we're gonna get to work. We'll start time lapse and you guys can just follow along. We're gonna start 3D scanning, and then once our ARB fixtures are done printing over here, we'll get to welding, and then we can actually bolt the first piece onto the rear end. We've been patiently waiting for this, but we had to make sure it was right. We didn't want to get ahead of the ball, jump the gun, nothing like that. So here we go. All right, we got the engine bay scanned, and I had a really cool time lapse of this, but I never hit go, so that sucks. But we've got a really good scan of the engine bay, if you can see that. And now that I've got the scan, Court, he's over there, you can't see him. He's going to get the old small block put down in here while I scan the bed. So that way we can take that turbo and mount it in here. Actually, two of them, but it'll make it easier. And then I can design more stuff off the bed and the frame. I can put the bed on the frame. All kinds of cool stuff. So more S10 parts incoming. And we've got some really big news, but we can't tell you guys yet because I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. But just know we're going to be doing some really cool stuff here soon. So stand by. More time lapse. I'll actually hit go this time.
To the finish line, seatbelt, fast whips, got a win in mind. See me when I skirt off, ain't no 10 in mine. Friends keep saying slow down, should've seen the signs. Riding down this dirt road, where we going, I don't know. God, please protect me, I'm halfway home. Take the wheel right now, I let go. Thinking about the ones to let go. I thought by now you forgive me. No, it's not easy forgiving. Found a new reason for living. Nice says, making noise, all I hear him say.
All right, today's a big day. We got new equipment, and yesterday we used some of our new equipment, which is our DP200 from Yeswelder. It's got dual pulse. They sent me some wire so I can actually try out the dual pulse because you can't do dual pulse with 030 wire, and that's what I was using. So Court got the S10 all fixed up. We got our anti-roll bar stuff. I welded those in. He got them tacked on. I welded them in, and then he put our cross member in, this cross member in. He got everything around here cleaned up and cut and ready to weld. And then at the end of the day yesterday, we burned this sucker in, and man, I'm trying a new welding technique and I'm pretty freaking happy with it. I couldn't even make TIG welds look this good, not on this material, especially welding on a 30-year-old chassis. Look at that though. Killer with the filler. I'm pretty happy with the way this is turning out. Court says it's his favorite new welder. You like it?
Yeah.
He likes it. I like it. I think we all like it. I think you guys will probably like it too, but look at this. That thing's in there for good. Now we can bend our tabs back, finish running that bar. And we can move forward on this, but I want to get the rear end. I want to get the rear end welded up, and I can't do that until I have a press brake. Well, just so happens our press brake came in from Swag Off-Road, and we're going to show you guys how, hopefully show you guys how, because I hope it works out. I bought 2 20-ton Harbor Freight press brakes. I did the math in my head. I should be able to take 2 of these frames and make it fit Swag Off-Road's 50-inch press brake. And it's a finger press. We bought some Hemmings dies, some gooseneck dies, and we bought the standard dies. So we can start bending stuff all on our own now. And we have a Langmuir Titan T25 CNC press brake getting delivered next week. But I think it'll be beneficial to have a standard press brake, just air over hydraulic, and a CNC, because I know how CNCs are. You got to get the programming, all that stuff right. And sometimes you just need to make a quick bend, and doing something on a CNC is normally never quick unless you have a whole program to do it. So this will give us kind of just the versatility to do whatever the heck we want, which is what we want. So I know this video has been kind of long, but we're getting work done on this. We're upgrading the shop. We're working towards being a more in-house deal, trying to do as much as we can in-house. We're becoming more self-sufficient. We got the small Brock stabbed down in there. Court got our motor mounts welded in. He made a custom trans mount yesterday. Cross member. Oh, where is it? There it is. Custom cross member. So that way, we're pretty much ready to go on this thing. Not ready to go, but we're ready to move forward on it. We've been doing a lot of waiting. And trying to not put the cart before the horse, and we're trying to get everything ready and just in line, so that way when we get this stuff done, we can start production. So this is one more step towards production, one more step towards the truck being done, one more step towards just doing what we want to do. So right now we're going to start reading our directions on the Swag Off-Road kit and start welding it together, and hopefully by midday today we'll have, I say hopefully by midday, I'm sure it'll take us all day, but at some point today hopefully we can start bending something. That'll be pretty fun. So you guys can follow along, watch us hopefully not screw this up, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So basically what they send you is a bottom piece, a piece of angle, which this is what you use to make your bends, but you can stack other pieces of angle in here to tighten up your radius. Like I said, I've got all of these, the Hemmings, gooseneck, and just standard dies. This is our top piece that'll be going on there, and I've got 3 air over hydraulic jacks, so we'll be putting 1 on each end and then 1 in the center, and then we're going to be retrofitting those to this thing. So I'm going to start reading the directions. I'm pretty sure the first thing to do is level this in here and then weld on here. So we'll get to use our new fancy welder, and then I think these go on there somehow, and then that goes on top. So I think these get welded to that, and those slide in there. I should probably just read the directions, but that's pretty much how it goes. And then the top piece goes up and down, and the world goes around. All right, stand by. All right, our press brake idea of making 2 into 1 did not work out at all. Dennis told me it wasn't gonna work, but for some reason I thought it would make a great video, and it did not. So lesson learned there. But on the bright side, I got the rear end all welded up, our anti-roll bar crossbar welded up, and I've got the 10 Soldiers billet ARB kit marked, and got my TIG welder out of the trailer from sick week. I'm gonna get the anti-roll bar set up, welded, get the rear end bolted in, get the anti-roll bar bolted in, and then we can put the rear end in and see what this thing looks like. It's gonna be freaking awesome. So I'm gonna get that done, and then it's on to the next thing. So stand by just a little bit longer. The video's almost over. I don't think you guys are ready for how awesome this is. I don't think you're ready, but I'm still gonna show you. Look at that. It's just amazing. I'm actually kind of speechless of how good this thing is. I can't wait to sell all these. Got us some dimes stacked on our TSR bar. Got the anti-roll crossbar in. Got our links made. Got our shocks on. Got the rear end in. Got the top bars made. It's just, yeah, I'm pretty freaking happy with this whole setup. Now the only thing left to do before this is completely finished, we're going to bend these tabs in, do our crossbar, and do our braces. And then I'll probably take a bar off the cage and go to this, because this, as you know, S10 frames with the bed on, they're pretty good, but I always want extra bracing. So highly recommend bracing this bar. But as for now, everything fits. It works good. I think my triangulation rear end doesn't move, so I guess I got enough triangulation on these bars. Boy, does it look good. Look at that. Actually, I don't really know what else to say other than you guys should buy one, because it's so much fun putting this on. I'm just going to start buying S10s just to 4-link them. That's going to do it for this video. The next video, we will be doing our crossbar and our torque box braces. But other than that, the S10 kit is done. I'm trying to get them on the site. There's a million different variations. Dang, yee trucks. In case you guys don't know, straight pipes on an LS are the worst sounding thing in the world. Back to what I was saying, there's about a million different variations of this thing. So getting it on the site, getting the weights correct, the pricing correct, everything correct is taking way longer, obviously, than I expected. But I want it to be right, so that way when we're done, you guys can buy this stuff, I can sell it, and hopefully we can make some money. Then we can build more cool stuff for more cool cars. As always, thank you for watching. I'm gonna get to work. We have some really big things coming up in the shop that I'm really excited about, but they're not gonna get done by themselves, so. Court, what do you think of this S10 4-link?
I like it.
Court likes it, that's all that matters. All right. We're getting ready to do some wiring for the big projects and some other cool stuff. And that's it for this video. Also, look how clean the shop is. Karina and Court yesterday worked really hard to clean this place up. And you guys got to see my new favorite thing in the world. I know I said that was the end of this video, but this thing right here, Chevelle's getting new brakes. This thing right here is the best invention. It's better than sliced bread. It just walks around and picks up all the crap off your floor. Look at that. Obviously this floor is ruined, but you can imagine how good it picks everything up. See if it'll pick that thing up right there. Gone. Yep. It's my new favorite thing. I credit that thing partly as to why the shop over next door is so clean now. We've got a car in here we're doing some custom twin turbo headers on. We got some big old 88 millimeter Force Performance HD 55s. Again, I know I said it was the end of this video, but I just had to show you guys some more cool stuff. Stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to use that lift to do more cool stuff in here. And then the next video, we'll be making our actual press brake frame. And then we're getting some new stuff in here. It's going to be freaking awesome, but I'm just not going to tell you yet, because I'm going to let your mind wander. So we'll talk to you guys later.